Okay, so if I hesitate, I have got more people jumping on. So I will just keep an eye on that. But firstly, thank you so much for joining us to find a little bit more about our Healthy Living program. So my name is Sharon Gleeson. I'm an Executive Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne. And this is a really great program if you are someone who is busy, but you really want to live a healthy lifestyle. I know for me, when I first heard about this program, I thought, I don't really want to get in and do one of those things. I've always been someone who's been really fit and healthy and didn't really ever want to get into some sort of program where I was going to have to weigh and measure everything and have a bunch of rules and restrictions. I really needed something that would be easy for me to follow. And from most of the people that I talk to, that is, the thing that we struggle with the most. And that's the reason why like 70% of our diet these days is often processed food, is because people are really busy and, they're looking for quick and easy options. So if you are someone who is busy or you don't necessarily love, food preparation and so on, this is going to be a really great program for you, because this is a program, and particularly for anyone who's got kids. I know for me, I did not want to be having to make different meals and things for me and different meals for my family. What I really loved about this program is that it is a program that all of the family will benefit from. And in fact, I've had lots of clients who, whether it's that the husband's done it and had to go to the wife and say, hey, listen, I want to do this program, and can you help me out with, just some different tweaks to the cooking and so on, or whether it's been the wife doing it. What I find is that they all come back and say the whole family had benefited from this program. And I think, particularly for those of you who do have children, one of the best things that we can be doing as parents is actually setting a really great example for our kids, around food and healthy eating habits and so on. And that is exactly what this program is about. So tonight, in the next 30 minutes, I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview about this program so that you can decide if it's something that you would like to jump in and do with us. So just to give you a little bit of background, I want to ask you to think about these questions. So first of all, are you someone who maybe you struggle with energy levels? Perhaps in the morning you get up, you're not feeling refreshed, you don't feel like you've got the energy to get throughout the day. Maybe you struggle with bloating, sometimes you eat and you feel like food doesn't sit comfortably in your tummy, you feel a bit, excess bloating or gas. Maybe you struggle with cravings. You're someone who gets to 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, I need chocolate, I need coffee, I need a snack, and you are really looking for something just to get you through the rest of your day. Do you maybe have trouble sleeping and trouble falling asleep or feeling like you've had a really good night's sleep? Or maybe you're someone who's actually struggled with that whole yo-yo thing where, you can start on some healthy habits for a while and then, fall off the wagon and put on those extra kilos and then, start again. And you're kind of sick of being on that cycle where you find it really a struggle to actually reach and maintain a healthy body weight. Or this is one of the really big things I find these days is a lot of people often feel really confused about food and knowing what to eat. And there's an amazing book by a guy called Dr. Mark Hyman, and he talked, and the title of the book is actually called Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? And he actually says that even doctors these days have got conflicting views on, what's the best diet. So how the heck is the average person supposed to know? And I think that's the thing, there's so many different diets out there that people often can get really confused about what to eat. Or is it maybe maintaining healthy habits? I know certainly at this time of the year, people often start with resolutions and then, within 2 weeks they've stopped because they were, too much of a stretch. It was hard. It wasn't going to be fun. It wasn't going to be something they could enjoy, and it wasn't sustainable. So maybe, you're someone who would love to be able to create new healthy habits. And the other really big one is mood swings. We often don't think about the connection between what's going on with us mentally and with us physically. So if anyone's brave enough, and you don't have to, put your hand up, but anyone out there can relate to any of those, maybe thinking, struggle with two of these things that you might love to actually focus on. Yep, I can see a few nods. Awesome. Okay, so if you would love to address those things and maybe, have more energy for the things that you want to do. I know for me, and I'll just share a little bit about my testimonial here. So when I first looked at this program, I personally thought, you know what, I eat healthy now. I felt like on the outside, I looked like I was, fit and healthy, but it doesn't necessarily mean just because on the outside you look like you're fit and healthy if on the inside you're not. I was that person who at 3 o'clock in the afternoon was struggling for something to eat to get me through the day and a coffee, partly because I was skipping lunch because I was too busy. And so for me, what I loved about this program was that it actually really ticked my box for quick and convenient. So I was a little bit skeptical about this initially, but when I actually did really embrace it, what I really loved about it was the biggest change that I noticed for me was that I had way more energy because my body was actually getting the nutrients that I needed. But what I loved was it wasn't taking me heaps of time to do it. So I had, for me, it was all about energy. It was all about really increasing my nutrients. The other big thing that I noticed for me was that I have got 2 girls and they used to, get 4 or 5 colds a year. And I would pick up those same 4, 5, 6 colds a year and often got sick. The biggest thing that I've noticed, apart from my energy levels, is that I just don't get sick because my immune system, by putting all the right nutrients into my body, has actually become so much stronger. So that's something else I noticed. And my skin, like I've noticed such a big difference in my skin and my hair and my nails, just from, really developing healthy eating habits and making sure my body is fueled with the right foods. So if you would love to have more energy, just so that you get through the day, you don't feel like you're dragging yourself through at 6 o'clock and, having to then turn around and get dinner. If you would love to actually not have that bloated, uncomfortable feeling with food sitting in your gut. If you're sick of struggling with cravings, and I hear people talk a lot about cravings, we really teach you about how to actually manage cravings. And one of the big things that we do is actually help get your blood sugars under control. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with cravings is because their blood sugars are out of control. So we help with all of that. If you'd love to have better sleep and actually wake up in the morning and feel energized. I actually had a client I've been working with, a male client, and he just cannot believe the difference that this program's made. He said, I can't believe like how much better I feel in the morning. He said, I wake up to the alarm. I don't feel like I'm sort of, having to keep hitting snooze. And he's actually started exercising and playing squash a couple of times a week and doing a lot more exercise. So he's loving the fact that, and sometimes it's that cycle, sometimes we start with nutrition and that helps with sleep, which then helps with exercise. Or sometimes it can be people start exercising and then they, feel like they want to eat healthier or and that flows on to sleep. Whatever it is, sometimes that one change can actually have a flow-on effect into other areas of our lives. One of the things I love the most about this program is a lot of people I find really struggle with rules and restrictions and having to weigh and measure everything. Is anyone there that kind of thinks, I don't want to go to a restaurant and not be able to enjoy life or order off a menu? Anyone kind of hate that feeling? Yep. So this is such an easy and sustainable way of going about things. And I think for me, that's the thing that I love the most. There's no weighing, no measuring, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's really about actually learning how to eat, a healthy diet where your body's getting all the right foods and no crazy things that you need to be worrying about every single day. And I actually was just saying to my husband this morning, I said, because our scales at home are broken. And I think because I used to have scales in my bathroom, I used to weigh myself a lot and I focused a lot on that number. But it was just the batteries went and I just never got around to replacing them. But since I really focused on not worrying about things on the scales and just focusing on partly my mindset around, like being grateful for my fit, strong, healthy body. That's one of the things I say to myself every single day. And just eating this certain way. I actually weighed myself around when my daughter replaces the batteries on the scales just after Christmas. And I was like, wow, because I had no idea where my weight would be. And it was just like normal. It was, up or down, maybe 300 grams. So what I love is that even through Christmas and, the lead up to all of that, it's not like I blew off the Richter scale. I actually was still able to maintain, the body weight that I felt really happy about. If you want to feel confident in your body, and I think that's important for a lot of people, is, I talk to a lot of people who maybe don't feel like they feel as, sexy or, or not as strong in their body as they'd love to. And this is going to really help you feel good in your body and feel happier and healthier. And that's one of the other things that a lot of people will say. I'll never forget, a client came to me about 2 weeks into the program and I said, how are you feeling? And he said, he actually was an ex-professional rugby league player. And he said, one of the things I've really noticed is, I don't have pain in my joints anymore. Could it be helping that? And I'll talk a bit more about that as we go through. And he said, and I know this sounds really weird, he goes, but I actually feel happier. And I said, it's not weird at all, because when our gut is right, it actually makes a massive difference to our mental health as well. So this is all stuff that our clients have got to say about the program. So if you think that any of these sound like something that you would love to have more of, not just in that 30 days. 30 days is a reset. I always focus on the and beyond part, because this is about resetting your body for the next 30 days so that then you can actually take all of these new habits forward. Oops, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, so a couple of key points about our program, because I mean, there are lots of other programs out there on the market, but I think it is really, really important to understand, the things that we focus on. So the most important thing is that it is a very easy approach to everyday nutrition that is really designed that you can take forward, that's going to help you feel amazing, but also to focus on health. It's not about focusing on weight loss. I've never needed to lose weight. For me, this program was all about just being healthier. So don't feel like, please don't feel this is a weight loss program. This is a program for anyone who wants all those things we just talked about, more energy, just to feel better and healthier and have great habits. But if you do need to actually shift some unwanted kilos, you'll certainly do that as well. So the focus is really on eating clean, whole foods, but we do incorporate some premium nutritional products as well. Now, again, just sharing my own testimonial, I personally used to think, oh, you don't need supplements. Like, I was a bit snob about that. And I thought, I eat really healthy. I don't need this type of stuff. But when you understand the reason why we include each of these products, particularly, in that first 30 days, the role that they all play working together, we're not getting enough nutrients from the foods that we eat every day. 95% of Australians, for example, aren't getting their 5 veggies and 2 fruits every day. So, and even if you are, we plant over and over in the same soils. Our bodies need more fibre. We need more nutrients. So this program is going to really help that, and also really help with supporting gut health. The really big thing is helping people to learn how to make healthier choices. And it doesn't matter what your starting point. So I've got a client who his breakfast is actually at a roadhouse. It's an iced coffee and dim sims and crumb sausages. Now, for him, winning is actually having his own breakfast and maybe only going once a week to the roadhouse. So it doesn't matter where you're at, anyone can do this program. And one of the biggest things is it's about where you're at and focusing on creating healthy habits and making sure it's sustainable. If I said to this guy, okay, no more of that and you have to do a million things, he would blow up and wouldn't even start. So this program is about progress and not perfection. And it's not a crazy fix. It's about let's meet you where you're at, and it's not one size fits all. So one of the things I just want to talk about, which is another really big key point of this difference in this program, is nutritional rebalancing. So with a lot of traditional programs or diets, typically, these focus on actually cutting calories, and people will lose weight quickly. But what happens when you lose weight really quickly is not only do you lose excess fat, but you actually also, when you lose fat, you actually release a lot of toxins into your bloodstream. So you can sort of see on this example here, the person actually now looks slimmer. They've cut down calories, they've cut down nutrients that their body needs as well in doing that. But they've also now got this, increased toxic density in their body. Now, our bodies are actually really smart. If we've got excess toxins floating around in our body knows that it needs to protect the major organs. So what happens is it will trigger a response where the body will produce more fat cells to actually wrap up those toxins and protect the major organs. So with our program, it's actually focusing on nutritional rebalancing, or what we call cellular cleansing, which is actually about helping to detoxify and get rid of these toxins that are held in those fat cells. If you ever see those ads on TV where they show, it's one that they do about soft drink, I think, and they show the inside of someone's organs all surrounded by all that yucky fat cells. This is actually helping to get rid of those toxins, which actually helps to get rid of that toxic fat, which is the sort of fat that's really not good for our body. So what we do is we actually focus on making sure that our body's getting lots of nutrients, but also actually gently detoxifying and getting rid of those toxins so that we now don't have that rebounding effect. Because what happens is that's where people get stuck on that yo-yo dieting cycle, because they're not actually getting rid of those toxins that are stored in those fat cells. And what happens is when you lose weight, you lose fat and muscle. When you put it back on, you actually put back on fat. So lots of reasons not to be doing these kind of crazy sort of programs. So why is detoxifying important? I have sort of touched a little bit on this, but what happens is that we can often rebound or we plateau. Like you hear a lot of people say, I just can't budge that last, 3, 4, 5 kilos. And it's usually because they need to actually get rid of those toxins to be able to do that. Or, if they keep on doing, crazy challenges, they will never actually get there because they're not actually getting rid of those toxins that are stored in those fat cells. And if you think about it, every day our body is exposed to toxins. We've got toxins coming in through the air that we breathe. It could be if you're in a job, we're exposed to toxins every day, whether it might be, the foods that we eat through things like pesticides and hormones and so on that are in the foods, artificial colours, flavours, sweeteners, they're all coming into our bodies as well. And it's also what we put in our body, which, a lot of people don't know about, but we have a lot of toxins that are coming into our body every single day. And if we've got too many toxins coming in, if our drains, so our organs of elimination, are already clogged because we've got too many toxins in our body's smart. It will still keep on working, but it puts an extra burden on our liver and our kidneys, like trying to process these toxins. And that's actually the first sign of when you struggle with energy. It can be a sign that you might have a bit of a buildup of toxicity. What's going to happen is that we're going to, a bit like a bathtub, it's going to fill up and we're going to have a spillover effect. So what this program does is let's turn down the faucet. Let's try to cut out all the toxins coming in with things like the artificial colours and flavours and sweeteners and so on, the refined processed sugars, the pesticides, the hormones that are in a lot of the foods that we eat. And let's also try and clear the drain, so clear out our organs of elimination, get rid of those toxins, and then everything will run really smoothly and we will actually start to, see massive difference in our health. So just quickly on how toxins affect your body, I won't go into this a little bit, but a lot of people just don't realise. So as I said, even the first sign of toxicity can be, start to struggle with energy levels, but it can even be things like, mild persistent headaches right through to migraines. We actually had a guy who struggled for years with migraines and was taking 16 Panadol a day. And he did the program and has actually continued living by this sort of protocol, and now doesn't get migraines and doesn't use any kind of paracetamol or anything for relief. So, and I'm not saying that this program is a cure for migraines, so please, that's just one person's testimonial, but it can make a big difference to even just things like mild headaches and so on. It can make a difference to mood, anxiety, just having those ups and downs, all sorts of gut issues. We've had a lot of people who might have, diarrhea or constipation or, all sorts of irritable bowel related issues, reflux. But because we focus on resetting the gut, it can make a big difference to people who are struggling with gut issues. Even things like, and I noticed Nicole, who's a naturopath on this call, was talking last night on a call she did about gut health. And she was saying that even, people who struggle with sinus problems, breathing, and even asthma, just by actually making changes to your diet and cutting out foods that cause inflammation or toxicity in your body can actually, even improve asthma, which is amazing. Things like, joint pain, arthritis, because again, that's all due to inflammation. It can really help, with some of the symptoms of that. I had, an elderly lady who really struggled with arthritis. It's a massive relief and more mobility through actually changing her diet. So, if you struggle with hormone imbalances or metabolism and particularly skin issues, we notice again huge differences because what's going on the inside is obviously also reflected with what's going on the outside. So if there's anything on here that you think, yep, that could actually be me, maybe look at their toxins, and perhaps this program could be something that could actually help you to start to take some steps toward improving some of those things. So just a bit about the program. So as I said earlier, it's not a rapid weight loss program or, pushing your body to unrealistic limits, because we know that that type of thing is not sustainable. It's not deprivation based or just, one of those crazy liquid only detox things. The first thing I was like, gosh, thank goodness I can actually eat food, because that's really important to me. And as I said, it's not one size fits all. So there are some people who can come in and can really stick to something if they want to. And there are other people where we need to really focus on going with progress and making small steps towards your health goals. So we will work with you to figure out where you're at now, what's realistic for you. I've got a couple of clients actually who are doing this program. They did it up to Christmas, which is always the most challenging time to do anything like this. And they both were doing it about 70%. The guy actually he actually lost 9 kilos. He was the one I said that had the struggles with the sleep issues and so on. And she's had some massive changes in terms of her health. She's actually doing IVF at the moment. Even her doctor actually noticed differences in her hormone levels because she's regularly tested. So again, they only did it 70%, but they still got some amazing results. So we'll meet you where you're at, because what our goal is to really help you to figure out what you can do that's a bit of a stretch, but it is sustainable and it is going to fit around your lifestyle. Because that's certainly one thing, and I didn't mention this at the start, but as a certified health coach, I've really noticed that people live very different lifestyles these days, and we need to actually figure out what's going to actually work for you. So we're going to help your body, we're going to reprogram your body to more efficiently get rid of toxins. And that's going to really also help to improve the effectiveness of your elimination organs. So having really healthy bowel movements and really help support your kidneys and liver. If you have struggled with your metabolism, one thing this program really does is help get that metabolic engine revved up and going again. And one of the things that I really noticed was a big difference. I'm actually a real sweet tooth. I noticed a big difference in my sugar cravings. Like, I now don't struggle with that at all. So over time, by making these changes, it's really helped with keeping my blood sugars nice and stable and actually helping me manage cravings. The big thing this program does is actually reset your gut. And if you do want to know more about that, Nicole actually, who's on this call, is doing a call on Saturday the 15th at 8 a.m. And she's going to share more about gut health and how to actually support a healthy gut. She's a naturopath and a personal trainer, and she's really, really exceptional. So if you're listening to this and I'd love to know a bit more about my gut and how to support that, she will go into a lot more detail about some of these things if you're interested to jump in on that call. So it's going to teach you how to eat clean, how to fill your plate. Honestly, that was the thing that I went, oh my gosh, this is so easy, and people love this. It's the simplest way. We just teach you how to fill your plate with the right proportions of foods, and it means you can go to a restaurant and order out. You can travel and do this. It's not hard. It's really, really easy. And it's about, new sustainable daily habits. And one of the things that people often find in this program is if there are any foods that, are sabotaging your health. In fact, my husband and I just went out earlier, and he said to me, I find that I really can't eat as much bread anymore. He goes, I like it, but I'm starting to feel that it doesn't sit well with me. And it's good. It's good if you can actually really tune into your body and figure out what is sitting well and what's not sitting well for you. So how does it work? There's 3 things that we do. One is we cut down the foods that we know cause inflammation in the body. So things like all the artificial colours, flavours, sweetness, the refined sugars, things like, coffee and alcohol. And again, as I said, we'll meet you where you're at. And if you're not ready to cut all those things out, that's okay. There's still room for anyone on this program. It's about eating clean whole foods, meals and snacks. And again, I love this because, as I said, they're meals that the whole family can eat. It's basic stuff that you can have in your cupboard. You can either tweak your cooking now. We give you a massive recipe book of recipes, or if you want structure and so on, we give you meal plans if you want a meal plan. And I love that. I love that for those that want structure, there's meal plans and recipes and shopping lists. For those like me who want a bit of flexibility, you can just kind of tweak what you're doing or pick recipes that that you and your family will love. So I love that about it. And we're also going to incorporate some nutritional products that will help support all of those things that I just talked about. And I will just quickly run through each of those with you now. Whoops, keep going the wrong way. So just quickly about the nutritional products that we use. These are basically whole foods that have been crushed down so that your body really easily absorbs them. And that was actually one of the things that really stood out for me is your body, you guys have to work really hard to break down food, and it can actually do with a rest. And I sort of thought this actually makes a lot of sense. You know, if these products can be really quickly absorbed into your bloodstream, it's going to give your gut a time to rest and heal, but it also means that you get the benefit really quickly, rather than having, waste when your body's actually breaking down food. So they're all vegan certified. There's no gluten, no dairy, soy, whey, which means that, anyone who's got any sort of allergies can actually use these products, which is awesome. And none of the nasties that I just mentioned earlier. So it's basically, as I said, whole foods that your body can just really quickly absorb. So I'll just mention quickly the products that we incorporate. So the first one is we do use a protein powder. And again, as I said earlier, I was a bit like, why do you need that? Like, can't you just, eat normal sources of protein? But honestly, one thing that I've really learned, and again, this program will teach you a lot about why we need certain foods and so on in our diet, is protein is the building block for everything. Like, it's for our blood, our hormones, it's for growth, it's for muscle repair and recovery. And so if we're not getting enough protein in our diet, our body's not going to be able to do all the functions that it needs to do to be really healthy. And a lot of people, I know for me, I didn't actually used to get any protein in my diet in the morning and lunch because of the way I ate. I used to save it all up for dinner, but your body can only absorb 25 grams of protein at a time. So sitting down and eating a big steak or whatever at nighttime isn't actually going to do it. And again, if you're someone who struggles with cravings, and this is where I've noticed a massive difference, is if you are sustaining that protein intake throughout the day, it's going to really help with your energy levels. It's going to really help with stabilizing those blood sugars and your cravings as well. And it means your body can actually absorb it. And again, what I love about this is because it is quick and easy, like, a lot of people in the morning, in fact, I actually did a workshop just recently and there was 20 women there, and I said to them, just no judging, but who here actually had breakfast today? And only 5 of the 20 women put their hand up that they had breakfast. And I said, and who actually had some protein with their breakfast? And only 2 did. And that's because reality is a lot of us are busy in the morning. We're trying to cram lots of things in, get to work, get the kids off to school if that's what you've got to do. And so people skip breakfast, they have a coffee, they eat toast or packet cereal because it's quick, but it's not really nutritious. So it's not going to sustain you throughout the day. So something like a protein smoothie is going to give you 20 grams of protein that your body can really easily absorb. It doesn't have to work hard to break it down like normal proteins. And the other thing is, be warned, if you go try find a protein out there, not all proteins are alike, honestly. Ours also has another 20 vitamins and minerals. So for example, our chocolate protein has 38% of your recommended daily iron intake. So have 2 of those a day and you're getting a substantial amount of your body's iron and zinc and other things that are in, folate and so on, things that can be quite hard for us to get in our diet. So that's the other added bonus. So this is honestly an absolutely exceptional quality protein, not just because it's got the protein, but because it also has those other 20 vitamins and minerals as well, which is going to really not just support lean muscle development, which we would all want, but it's also going to, it's good for your overall health as well. So there's a few different flavors. There's chocolate, vanilla, and we've now got coffee. We have special flavors from time to time, like chocolate mint is my favorite. And there's a banana pancake coming out, one for all you banana lovers. So 2 scoops of that once or twice a day. And then we also have a greens balance, which again, what I love about this is, as I said before, most of us aren't eating our 5 and 2 every single day. And even if we are, because of the way that, we plant our crops over and over in the same soil, foods are gassed to ripen them. They're stuck in cold storage. You shouldn't really be able to get apples at this time of the year, but, they keep them there and put them on the shelf, and they can be sitting there for, up to 12 months. So the nutrient value of foods really decreases. So we need to actually boost. And what I love about this is there's 36 different fruits and vegetables, and really importantly, they cover the different colors of the rainbow. So we don't always necessarily sit down and eat, things like eggplant or blueberries or, pumpkin every single day. So it's going to give you reds, greens, blues, yellows, oranges, purples, so that you're getting all of those different colors of the rainbow, because they also have, different phytonutrients that our body needs for all of its bodily processes. Really big one that I love is the gut health microbiome support and digestion plus. And this is quite a unique product. So you can go to the pharmacy and buy, probiotics. I know a lot of people do that, or they drink those little Yakult drinks, which I used to do. But really what this product does is it has got an amazing combination of pre and probiotics, but it's also got digestive enzymes, which is going to actually help your body to break down the food so that your body can actually absorb it. So it's kind of 3 different things in one. So it's going to really help with flooding your gut with all those good bacteria. And it's going to support your gastrointestinal tract as well. So, just quickly on our gut, we don't have time to talk about it, but a lot of the hormones that are responsible for our mood and happiness are actually housed in the lining of our gut. So you might have heard of serotonin. That's 85% of that is actually held in the lining of our gut, and 50% of our dopamine. And those are 2 of the biggest hormones that are responsible for our mood and happiness. So if our gut is out, it's going to affect our mental health as well. So really supporting the gut is going to have the benefit of not only good gut health, but it's also going to help with mental health. And also 75% of our immune system stems from our gut as well. So you really need to love your gut. And when they talk about your gut being your second brain, they are not wrong. It really, truly is. And as I said at the start, I have noticed a massive difference in my immune system since I have been incorporating this product, every day. And if you do struggle with any sort of, bloating or gas or any issues like that, this product's going to, really help with that as well. We then have a fiber support. Now, again, most people aren't getting enough fiber in their diet, largely due to the fact they're not eating all their fruits and vegetables, but this is really important for maintaining good gut health. What I love about this fiber is it's actually got your insoluble fiber, which when we talked about those toxins before and actually wanting to get rid of those from our body, what that does is it's kind of like a sponge or a magnet. It's something for toxins to actually attach to. So all those toxins you saw floating around on those pictures before, what happens is that fiber actually is something that they then attach to, and it actually helps them to leave our body, which is awesome. And then the soluble part of that fiber is awesome because it actually helps with helps you keep full longer, but it also helps with balancing blood sugar as well. So that you can just chuck into your smoothie. It's super easy. And then for anyone who might be a big coffee drinker, soft drinks, energy drinks, Powerades or whatever, we actually help support some alternatives with that. And one of the things I love about this program, we don't say you can't have any energy drinks or soft drinks or coffee. We say instead of having, 5 cups of coffee a day, how about swapping one of those coffees for an energy fizz stick? And these are amazing. So they're actually clinically proven, which I love, they actually increase your energy levels. They help with fatigue. They're great for helping alertness and cognitive performance. So these are absolutely awesome for anyone who works shift work, is a mum and needs that kick in the afternoon. If you're someone who struggles with that 3 o'clock slump, these are amazing. So yeah, really great alternative to any of those things that you might need to maybe wean yourself off from. And honestly, these are addictive. They've created a bit of a revolution, the old fizz sticks. And then we have a clean tox herbal tea, which is a bit of it, which helps again with detoxifying. It's got peppermint, which is really soothing for the gut, and dandelion, which is like a little brush and sort of sweeps through and helps with cleansing your elimination organs. And then lastly, in the 3rd week of the program, we actually have a gentle cleanse product, which again helps with that detoxifying. It's really gentle. All you end up doing is needing to use the bathroom more because of the amount of fluid that you're having. But what it does is it kind of glutamine, which is in it, actually helps with the muscles that sort of squeeze, the food along the tract. And ginger actually helps with soothing, and same with aloe. So it's really, really good for helping to support and heal the gut, because we all do a lot of damage to our gut, even if you don't feel like you do or you can't see it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not actually happening. And then choline actually helps with our liver as well. So you can kind of get the feeling from these products. What they're going to do is basically give you a really, really good clean out and help reset everything from the inside out. And I swear the difference you see in people's skin you can really tell when people are actually doing this program, because you can notice a difference. And I can see, I think it's still nodding there and going, yes, you can. So just to give you an idea of a sample day, and look, as I said before, sometimes I don't like putting this up because we're all different. And I know for me, a lot of my clients will work differently. And again, it depends on how much exercise you do, for example, how you will do it. It depends on what your work schedule is. It might just depend on your preference for, how you like to use the different products. But pretty much in the morning, you're going to start with a protein smoothie, because it is just going to really help set you up for the day. And, some people will have their gut microbiome support, half an hour before that, if you can. But, we'll work with you to figure out what suits best. They might put that and the greens together and do it as a shot. I put my greens and my fibre into my smoothie, and I have that. And we're going to give you a recipe book. So it's not a, just get whoever's to mute if you can.
Job recycling going on.
Can't see who it is, but if there's someone, if I could just get everyone to mute, that'd be great. Thank you. Sorry, with the smoothies, this is not just mixed powder and water. So when I make my smoothie, for example, in the morning, I put my protein powder in, I'll put in some frozen blueberries, a big handful of spinach. So I'm already getting one of my serves of veggies for the day. I'll put in some sort of a healthy fat. So it might be a teaspoon of coconut oil. I actually love the organic toasted coconut flakes at the moment. I put some of those in, and we teach you how to fill your plate. And that is basically a hormonally balanced meal, because we've got some healthy fats, we've got some protein, and we've also got some carbohydrates. So that's the berries. And just on that note, guys, carbohydrates are still our friend. We still need carbohydrates. It's the first source of energy for our body. If we don't get enough carbohydrates in our diet, our body's going to actually start to steal protein, which is what we need for all those other things. So we're going to teach you how to, it's really about the proportions that we often get wrong. So yeah, protein smoothie in the morning, and then, you might want to have, I usually have a tea and a fizz stick around 10:30. Some people like to have that first up. So we'll work with you to figure out, how you like to use the products. And then a healthy snack. So that could be something like, some green apple and some almond butter or something, or it might be some veggie sticks and hummus. It could be some healthy crackers and, avocado, boiled eggs, nuts will help you with a whole list of healthy snacks you can have. And honestly, most people say, I thought I was going to go hungry on this program, and they go, I haven't eaten as much, I'm not hungry, and I feel amazing. And then at lunchtime, again, depending on where you're at and what you do, it could either be just having a healthy lunch based on, how we teach you to fill your plate. So it could even be like, chicken salad with a little bit of rice or something, or it could be another smoothie. Like I know for me, my lunch is a smoothie bowl, and I put some yummy granola, gluten-free granola on top that I love. And I actually eat it with a spoon because I want to eat but that's my favorite go-to lunch, especially in summer. For some people, if they do heaps of exercise, it might be that you have lunch and then you have a protein smoothie in the afternoon. Again, we'll help you figure it out. Again, in the afternoon, if you need a snack, most people say, I don't even need snacks. I don't need snacks. I just don't feel like I need them. And I do a lot of exercise. So I often will get by on 2 smoothies. And then energy fizz stick, definitely in the afternoon to help get through the rest of the day. And then, we'll help you out with heaps of recipes for dinner. But as I said, these are all dinners that everyone can eat. It's not like mum or dad's doing this, you've got to eat this, I'm eating this, and it's hard. It's not. These are all meals that the whole family can eat. Things like stir fries or healthy fried rice, or, some grilled fish or chicken meat if you want to eat it, a small portion of healthy carbs and your veggies and so on. But they're really delicious, tasty meals, and we share lots of recipes with you as well. And then you might want to have a tea after dinner if you want to do that, or you can have it in the afternoon. Honestly, it's really simple, but we will work with you to figure out how you might like to incorporate these products into your day and into your schedule. So what's included? We do give you a support guide. So we do a week of preparation before we actually start. So that actually did start today. So anyone who thinks after this call, yep, you know what, I really do feel like I need a good clean out, or I want to learn some healthy habits, I want to start my journey. We're well, and truly there's plenty of time for you to jump in and do that with us. So don't feel like, it's too late. And we do have programs starting every 2 weeks, but if you want to jump into this one, which I'm coaching, there's plenty of time. So we give you a guide which you can, go through all of what I've said in a lot more detail. But we do have a closed Facebook group for people who are on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, we can send you the information via email. But every day we're doing a post, and we teach you things about snacking. We teach you things about how to stabilize your blood sugar. We help you to understand why you get cravings, and that just simply, like, a lot of people don't know that if you're thirsty and you've got a craving, you can have that craving, but if you haven't satisfied your thirst, because the same part of your brain controls those two things, that craving is not going to go away. Sometimes really simple things like that can make a massive difference for people. We're going to teach you about all the different, food types and why our body needs them. We talk about hunger and fullness and all, lots of really, really great information that you'll learn. And so every day we just do a post and we share some information with you. If you want to get in that group and share ideas and recipes and ask questions, awesome. Some people just want to watch, and that's totally fine too. But it's really education guidelines to help you with healthier choices. We share recipes, weekly meal plans for those that want the structure. But yeah, lots of really good information that will just really help you with, understanding how to create healthy habits going forward. And I guess what a lot of people love is that there's a community of people on the same journey. And sometimes when people do this, it can be really fun to actually jump in with a friend and say, hey, let's do it together. We can hold each other accountable. And that can be really fun as well. And then the consultant who invites you into the group will actually touch base with you. Certainly at the start, often, it's daily, just to see how you're going. Sometimes people might, I know for me, I remember the first week on the Friday, I had to go out that night. I remember I was on the floor in my bedroom because I decided I was going to stop coffee. And I had the worst coffee withdrawal. I had a headache. I had no energy. I was like, I want to die. But after I got through that, then my energy level and everything picked up. And not that I ever in a million years thought that I would give up coffee. But yeah, I just, after the program, just lost the taste for it. And now I just have replaced my coffee habit with Vista, but that's okay because they're good for me. But yeah, it's good sometimes knowing that other people are doing it and you can kind of help each other through it as well. But yeah, so weekly call just to see how you're going, if there's anything we need to help you with, support and so on. And I think that for a lot of people, that's what they love. They actually do love that accountability and support. And so really, honestly, for the cost of, a coffee and a muffin, you could actually jump in and do this program. And honestly, most people say they save money on this program because they're not buying as many takeaway coffees, they're not buying lunch, they're not buying as much wine and processed foods and Uber Eats and so on, and actually do find that they end up saving money. But we can help you customize, a program that suits with you and what you want to achieve, and also, obviously your budget as well. So I'll just stop that there and just open up. And if anyone's got any questions, and in fact, I haven't actually kept an eye on the chat, so I'll just see if there's, yeah, okay, cool. So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to unmute and ask away. Okay, I can see there's, oh, thanks, Jill. Hope that was helpful. If you don't want to ask a question, feel free to pop anything in the chat. Otherwise, as I said, if you think, what, I'd either love to know more, go back to the person who invited you onto this call and ask whatever questions that you've got. It's really, really important that you've got all the information that you need. We actually do kick off with the start date. So as I said, we do a week of preparation where you get in the group, we share some information, we'll share the recipe book. I know for me, I loved flicking through going, okay, these are the recipes I'll make for the first week. You can get the groceries in, you can get rid of the food in your cupboard that, maybe it's going to be too tempting if you want to try and go hardcore at this. But yeah, have a chat with a consultant that invited you on the call. Talk to them about your health goals. Like, as I said, we're not here to convince you to do this. We obviously share passionately because we know the difference that this can make for people. But make sure you've got all your questions answered, the information that you need. And as I said, there's plenty of time to jump in on this program. But if for whatever reason you think, it's going to suit me better to start in a couple of weeks, Nicole, who's on this call, who's a naturopath, is running our next one, which will be awesome. And we do have them, starting, every couple of weeks, because we know that, different times are going to suit different people better. So if no one's got any other questions, I'll wrap it up, let you get on with your Monday night. And I will really look forward to seeing any of you who want to jump in, and I'll have it'll be a real privilege for me to actually coach you on this call. So thanks again for giving up some of your Monday night. I hope that you've learned something, and yeah, really hope that we get to see you soon.